Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. This is the channel that exposes error being taught in the church by simply looking at what the Bible really says. This is the video we're looking at today, where we see Alexander Pagani ordained into the office of apostle. We'll talk about why this isn't possible at the end. But even people like Michael Brown say that the office of apostle is no longer available, yet he supports all these phonies. And who's ordaining Pagani? A mere mortal named Tudor Bismarck. And he speaks at apostolic summits with people like Benny Hinn, Katie Souza, and a bunch of others from the NAR. So let's look at some of the highlights from this video.
But you're coming into a place now where your apostolic gift is going to make room for those who have had a difficult time. You're going to make it easy for them.
But wait a minute. If Alexander has an apostolic gift, then it was given to him by God. This guy doesn't need to be ordaining him. The whole video is the usual, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. So let's just skip to the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it is with great honor and pleasure that I present to you and ask you to receive Apostle Alexander Pagani and his lovely wife. In Jesus' name. Please stand. Turn around. Here they are.
The arrogance of these people is offensive. To actually think you can ordain someone into the office of apostle is absurd. And remember, none of these so-called apostles are walking in the gifts like the real apostles did in the Bible. 2 Corinthians 12 tells us the signs of a true apostle. If they aren't walking in those signs like the ones in the Bible did, then they can only be the false apostles we're warned of in 2 Corinthians 11. So with that being said, let's review a past video of 5 reasons there are no apostles today and why false apostle Alexander Pagani should be avoided. Before we get started, allow me to clarify between the office of an apostle and the gift of an apostle. In Greek, apostle simply means a messenger or one sent on a mission, especially in regards to preaching the gospel. We'd call those missionaries today, and yes, that is a gift and calling not all of us have. But as far as the office of apostle, like those that were chosen by Jesus had, that office has ended, and here's 5 reasons why. Even though there are more than 12 apostles mentioned in the New Testament, not all of them were like the 12. So the first reason there are no apostles today is because Jesus personally chose the 12. Now, some teachers view Matthias as an invalid apostle and believe that Paul was God's choice to replace Judas Iscariot as the 12th apostle. This would give the first qualification that a true apostle was personally chosen by Jesus. And none of the so-called apostles today can prove that about themselves. The second fact is that there were only 12 of these hand-chosen apostles, as we read in Matthew 10. And Revelation 21 confirms that these are the 12 special apostles of the Lamb, chosen by Jesus himself. The third reason is that the church and God's work was built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets. You don't build a foundation more than once, and the apostles had the unique authority to be used by God to write the Bible. The canon is closed, and nobody can add to this foundation today. The fourth reason is because we are told what the signs of a true apostle were in 2 Corinthians 12:12, and that's signs and wonders and miracles. We are not seeing anything like that from the so-called apostles today. At best, we hear of a shoulder pain disappearing, a leg being lengthened 1/4 of an inch, or 3 toes that grew back, but they won't give us any proof of that. There is nobody today that is walking in the everyday miracles the apostles in the Bible did. And the fifth reason is that Scripture speaks of these apostles and their work in past tense, like we see in both 2 Peter 3:2 and Hebrews 2:3-4. Once again, the foundation was built, and their part in God's plan was finished. Ephesians 3:5 also confirms this by saying, which was not made known to men in other generations, as it has now been revealed by the Spirit to God's holy apostles and prophets. It's done. Remember, this whole apostolic movement is claiming to restore the office of apostle. And if that's the case, then they are admitting that this office stopped at one point. The only thing is that there is no scripture saying that the office of apostle would be restored. So you have to listen to their twisting of scripture to support this unbiblical movement. Anybody calling themselves an apostle is deceiving themselves because they do not meet any of the 5 requirements we've just spoken of. Most likely, they are the false apostles spoken of in 2 Corinthians 11 that are simply disguising themselves as God's leaders. So the next time someone is referred to as an apostle, I hope these points can be used to help them humble themselves and realize that they are not what they think they are. With that being said, we're going to leave it here for today, but as always, leave your comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.